Hey up and welcome to Callum's Corner. You'll notice I'm wearing a hat tonight. It's something a little bit different because I'm tackling, excuse me, I'm tackling a subject that's a little bit different for the corner tonight. I am tackling the upcoming US elections, which will be held in, I believe it's November of this year, and is, well, not potentially, it is going to be a world shaping event. A lot of people have asked for my opinions on this, and I've been reluctant to speak out politically somewhat on the corner because I don't want to influence. I understand, when you have a kind of platform like I do, you need to use it for good and not just push your opinion on people, especially when it comes to matters like this. But having gone back and forth on it, I will speak out and I will say that out of Trump and Hillary Clinton, I really could not pick between them. It is a horrible, horrible choice. It's like someone saying, do you want to lose both your testicles or your penis? Do you know what I mean? That's what the Americans have been left with. Now, Donald Trump is an interesting candidate, I probably wouldn't use the word human, but an interesting thing. In any other country, some of the allegations and some of the gaffes and kind of things that he has done would mean he would be a non-starter. He would have been run out ages ago. But in America, they have quite a strange kind of system, which means that he is the confirmed candidate for the Republicans. He's quite popular, which is one thing. And I think one of the reasons he's so popular is that the general public, by and large, are craving a candidate who they feel they kind of can get to know in some way. And Donald Trump does Twitter very well. He is, the most kind of available of all the candidates. He media friendly, even though he makes the gaffes. He's always on the media. He's always willing to give an opinion on something. And I think the public do crave that. Our politicians are so distant from us now that that is appealing. And the other thing that is appealing about Donald Trump to some people, I feel, and obviously I may be very wrong in this, is that we have such an urge for change. He's presenting himself as an outside candidate, as someone who wants to, get in amongst the big business and stuff. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. So this is a man who started his business with, I think it was like a $10 million loan from his father. So there's no way he's an outsider from all of this lot. He's grown up with them. He's in the same kind of weird secret little clubs that all the rest of them are. And obviously we have Hillary Clinton on the other side. Now, a lot of people say we should, if you have any kind of left-wing politics, you should just support her because she's a female candidate and she's a Democratic candidate. But Hillary Clinton is an evil, evil little spasmoid whore. She is disgusting. She's a liar. She's done revolting things. She has never, ever shown, a human emotion side to her in any way, shape or form, which is why so many people don't like her. And some people don't trust her because her actions haven't been trustworthy. And she's done some proper dodgy things in her career, including some horrible things against other women in rape cases when she was representing the rapists. I think what you've got to look at in this election is the fact that Donald Trump is a Republican candidate. Now, nothing happens in politics or in the world without the real power being behind it. The people who have manipulated power of the Federal Reserve. They are the people who choose the candidates. You look back when George Bush came into power, you had, I think it was Ross Perot standing as an independent to split the Democratic vote away from Al Gore, who should really have been a shoo-in, and actually was, Bush was illegally elected in that first election. Al Gore, Bush claimed he'd won and Al Gore didn't fight it like he should have done. And I think the fact that Donald Trump has been the candidate is very, very indicative of the fact that the real power want Hillary Clinton in, this warmongering she-devil. Donald Trump is obviously, he's so uncredible that there's very little chance that he can actually be elected president. It leaves people almost no alternative but to vote for Hillary Clinton. And the biggest shame is that Bernie Sanders was shooed out. What he did to be so close to Hillary Clinton was incredible. and if it had been anyone else but Hillary Clinton, with the backing of every single big business and, you know, Illuminati scumbag in the world behind her, he would have won. And we would have seen the real change that people crave. You know, you only have to look in England at our country, you know, the amount of support that Jeremy Corbyn's getting, despite all of the big business and news agenda against him. And it's exactly the same for Bernie Sanders. People really, really want a positive change in the world. We just want a candidate, a politician who will stand up and get in and change the status quo, because it doesn't work for any of us, apart from very, very few rich people who have all of the power and continually repress us through their manipulation of the political system. And that is my opinion, I guess, on the upcoming American election for you.